Welcome to WrenchWay Weekly, the show where we talk about the industry's hot topics, highlight the voice of technicians, and educate shops and dealerships on how to help improve the industry. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and comment on the videos. Let us know what we can do to really bring more value to this and really bring a lot of value to WrenchWay Weekly in general. So this week's topic of conversation was injuries in the shop. And it was an interesting one to me in that it's something where we oftentimes talk about injuries, but there's always kind of some underlying reason, right? It could be because of insurance. I know when I was on the industry side, you're talking about injuries primarily because of the insurance multiple and making sure that you're not a at-risk insurance company, that type of thing. Technicians like to joke around about it, have their war stories, as do I. A lot of different ways that you can really get hurt. Some of the responses here were somewhat funny, some serious, and really hopefully we can learn from this as to why injuries are important and why we need to maybe take some more seriously. And so this week's topic, the actual question for WrenchWay Weekly was, how many injuries have you experienced while being in a shop? And really it broke down kind of how you would expect. About 14% of respondents said they have not been hurt in a shop. We did not poll how old or how many years those technicians have been in the industry. So 14%, 41%, which was the majority in this poll, answered 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 injuries that they've sustained while at work. Then it gets a little bit more concerning, right? 23% of respondents said that they've been injured 3 to 5 times in their work life in a shop. And then 22% said 6+ times, right? So 22% of our respondents had responded that they've been hurt more than 6 times in different ways. And some of the answers to the questions were quite interesting. There was a gentleman that responded with detail on a bunch of different injuries that he's had, but one that I thought was crazy was that he was using a screwdriver, tip of the screwdriver came off, landed in his eye. He had a large piece of metal in his eye and didn't panic, went to go get a magnet and was able to get it out. That is insane, and glad that he was able to get it out, because those eye injuries are really, really scary. So when we broke it down as to what the injuries were that were really, really, common. Abrasions was number one, right? That had almost nearly half of the respondents. That's about 46%. Joint problems were a big one. Multiple injuries were a big one, right? 32% of people said they had multiple different kinds of injuries. And so that shows you, if you're in that category where you had the multiple different injuries and you had the 6+ injuries, there's a real reason for concern there, right? Not only from the insurance multiple side of the business, but really just for your general safety. And how do we keep you healthy enough to be able to really keep your body together for the life, for your life, for your entire life? I think that's really, really important. So a couple things that I see, and I was on both sides of this, right? So on the technician side, there were times where I didn't take it all that serious. I really, as a young tech especially, going in and trying to prove that you're tough and all of that, you'd go in and you'd do some dumb stuff, whether it was picking something up that was far too heavy to pick up, or not wearing safety glasses when I was grinding. That really was, I was pretty good about that, but there were times where maybe I'd risk it. Something as easy as putting dark glasses on when you're torching or welding and making sure they're the right kind. Super important. And I used to get yelled at as a kid for not doing that. And I kind of still, especially when it came to torching, was probably a little lax in that regard. So I definitely get where you can skimp corners here, and especially when you're doing it day in, day out, and you're trying to run and make sure that you're beating your times or making your times. It can get stressful. But I do think from a core fundamental standpoint, the culture inside shops has gotten drastically better. There are a lot more people wearing safety glasses consistently. And it can really be a pain, right? But when we looked at the amount of people that had eye injuries from a piece of metal going in, that's when it gets really, really scary, right? Because if you get a piece of metal in your eye, I worked with a guy at one point that got metal in his eye, had to have surgery, and it's a serious deal, down to the point where you could lose vision in that eye. So don't be too proud to wear safety glasses. I know sometimes they're ill-fitting, or they just don't, for those of you in the cold weather, will fog up on you, and they can just be generally annoying. But find a pair of safety glasses that is really, really nice for you. A lot of times we default to the cheapest safety glasses you can find. Try to find something that actually is comfortable, especially with how important it is that you have them on. This one kind of hits home with me because I was wearing some not so comfortable safety glasses a few weeks back while I was restoring a Jeep out in my garage, and I was doing some grinding. I was grinding down some old welds, and there was a lot of grinding, but I actually had my head down and the safety glasses just kind of fell down a little bit. But at the same time, a piece of metal had gone over my safety glasses and kind of into my eye, really irritating my eye. I haven't had to go in and get it checked out as of yet, but there are times where I probably should have gone right away and got it figured out, right? So that's just something where you look at the severity of some of these injuries. Some of the folks that responded had missing fingers from something around those lines. I had that happen to me where I still have my fingers, but had a cutoff wheel go directly into my thumb. I think we all like to share these war stories, and we do it with a little bit of pride. But at the same point, I hope that we take some of this home with us, right? That it's not just a business pushing it down our throats because of insurance purposes. Granted, I think there probably are some businesses that, and most businesses are smart to really look at it and dive into it. But when they're generally concerned about your keeping you safe, right? This can be a dangerous job. Keep you safe. Listen to them. Work with them. Try to give them ideas. Try from a technician standpoint, try to give the business ideas on how they can better protect you, whether it's a piece of equipment that can help you lift, if it's a crane or something along those lines. Make sure that you're pushing that message across, because it is really, really important. We want all of you to stay safe. We want this job to be a safe job. So, again, this is a topic that we could probably go into really, really deep, and one that I think we might do a podcast on, do some more into it, because it's such a loaded conversation, and one where I think at times maybe a technician might be a little bit eerie of why a shop is giving them that information, and maybe thinking that, okay, it's just to save them money on insurance. But in reality, they really, really do want to keep you healthy. And if they don't, obviously that's a whole other conversation. But it is really, really important that you keep yourself safe. So thank you to everybody that participated in the WrenchWay Weekly poll. They responded through WrenchWay Insiders, our app that really has picked up steam, continues to pick up steam. And it's pretty cool to see all of the responses and really all the data that we're able to get out of that, to put together some educational content and hopefully help these shops understand what it is that technicians are seeing, right? And what they want and what they're craving. And safety, I think, is right up there towards the top. So as a reminder, we kind of changed the way that we're doing our giveaways. In the past, we were kind of just doing a random selection of that. But now, for our WrenchWay Insiders, as you answer questions, you get prizes, right? And really cool prizes. So for this week's winner, we gave away a $100 gift card to the winner, which was Kenny Freund. Kenny, you won a $100 Carhartt gift card with a high score of 30 on high-low. So congratulations, Kenny. I thought that was that 30 number, it was good. It held up. If you want to try and beat Kenny next week, make sure you get on the app and answer some questions and play the game. It's actually really, really fun. A really cool part of this is that we are starting to really see this pot grow with the Queen of Hearts. We're up to $900 for the person that selects the Queen of Hearts. So if you get a chance and you win that higher lower game, if you select the Queen of Hearts, you take home $900. That's a lot of money. That's really, really good cash. And maybe you can buy those nice fancy safety glasses. Just kidding. But anyways, Kenny unfortunately chose the 9 of spades. So the Queen of Hearts is still out there. That pot grows every week. And really I'm excited for somebody to earn that pot. I think it's going to be really cool once we give away our first big Queen of Hearts pot. We just posted some new challenges, so make sure you complete those. Earn some more points to play the higher or lower game. Beat Kenny, beat whoever else is setting the high standard. Well, actually, when you go out to play the game, you can see who's actually got the high score. If you go out there and you see that and you beat it, you're in the lead. You have the chance to win that $100 Amazon gift card. As we kind of are building this app and building our audience there, it is invite only. So to get on the app, you do have to get an invite. And if you would like to receive an invite, you can fill out the form on the WrenchWay website. We'll put a link in this video, or email us at info@wrenchway.com. We'll get an invite sent out to you. Our topic for next week is what irritates you the most at work? And we put some interesting options out there. Technology, and we're talking about internet and systems and passwords. Passwords might be the most irritating thing to me in the world. And then some other options with tools, other people in the shop, and just another other section where you could maybe explain some of the irritations that you have at work. This will help us to kind of communicate this back to shops and let them know what really is a thorn in your side. So we'd love to get your feedback on this, and to provide your feedback, get on that WrenchWay Insiders app, find the poll listed under the challenges tab, and then answer that what irritates you the most at work. Once again, if you like what we're doing here on WrenchWay Weekly, be sure to subscribe to us on WrenchWay, on YouTube. We'll make sure that you get those updates and really help us, again, drive answers, drive us to understand what it is that technicians want so we can hopefully make the industry better. Thanks again for watching another episode of WrenchWay Weekly. Look forward to talking next week.